Hello, welcome to episode 7 of Digging Comics. I'm Spencer.
Hey, I'm Mr. Matt.
Mr.
End of
Matt's
the year
here.
show. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas to you. It's been a while.
Yeah, oh man, I know. We
Yeah, it's been, well, it is that time of the year.
I know.
But today we're going to go over some, we got a lot of digs. We're not going to be able to show them all. But we've
No.
got also, I got my best of the year list. I love lists. I don't know why. Um, and we'll go over some finds that Matt's found.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So anyway, other than that, it's been a pretty busy fall, and like I say, Christmas time was here, and I was just showing Matt my new book I got, Frank Frazetta. As you can see, he's got that.
Yeah, I got the poster up.
Yeah,
Comic shop in town just got them in. Yep,
Frank
got Frank
Frazetta.
Frazetta.
Yeah, and anybody knows who Frank Frazetta is. If you're watching this podcast, you probably know who Frank Frazetta is. When
Yep.
I was a
If you're a
kid, one of the
comic,
things that got me into comics
even if you're
was
not a
his.
comic guy,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean,
no, not at
Molly
all.
Hatchet covers, I mean, all over.
Right. My grandma, believe it or not, gave me a bunch of Tarzan books when I was a kid, Edgar Rice
Oh
Burroughs.
yeah.
And he did some awesome covers for Edgar Rice Burroughs, Weird Tales, Creepy,
Yep.
Eerie, all that kind of stuff. So, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go over some of my digs, and then
Yeah.
we'll
Jump
head
in,
over to
man.
Mr. Matt. So,
Yeah. See what
I'm
you
going to try
got.
something different this year. Instead of putting them on my camera, I'm just going to hold them up and got to watch the
Ooh.
lighting there. But I picked
Ooh,
this one up out of believe it or not, that came out of a dollar box, I think.
nice.
And I've read that story. I got the trade paperback, and it's Tom King. It's pretty recent, but it's gonna probably the reason I picked it up out of the dollar box is because purely from a flipping standpoint. I'll turn around and sell it probably in a year or not in a year, well maybe a year when that movie comes out. It'll skyrocket.
Oh,
I
okay.
bet this copy right here will go for I bet you close to $20.
Oh,
So,
really?
oh yeah, yep, definitely. It's
That's good
already
because
eight. It's already
yeah.
eight. I mean, and then here's a funky one, Warp. I got a who
Oh,
bought
the
this?
old Warp comics. That's first, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
First Comics back, and the reason I bought this is because you can see his ad, or where am I? Right here, Frank
Yep.
Brunner, Doctor Strange, and
Yeah.
those kind of books. I mean, I'm like, you know what? I kind of like rescued it from the dollar bin. I'm like,
Ah.
what the heck, you know? And a few other goodies. If you're familiar with Astro City and the Dark, this is the
Yeah.
Dark Age, those miniseries that he made. Um, those were in the
That's what's
dollar bin too. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I
really
had bought
great.
those back in the day. Um,
Cool
here's
covers.
another one. Yeah,
Ooh, I
Alex
like
Ross
that
did a
one.
lot of the covers of these, and I think it's a highly underrated series. I
Oh, yeah.
One of those series
Agreed.
that people just, like I said, found them in a dollar bin. So there's another
They could
one.
easily make a series out of Astro City. They could
Oh
easily make
yeah,
a cartoon animated. They could go
definitely.
all out. It is a cool series. It's cool. The artwork is so cool. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
very got that like
Yeah, and
50s
it's kind of
sci-fi.
based on I think the DC universe. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of based on that, but it's like kind of a he renames it like Superman is some Samaritan or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's kind of cool. Here's one that I think you'll get a kick out of. I picked this out. I like the cover. I was
Oh
like, what the
yeah.
heck, Folklords. But then I
What is
saw
it?
the author is this Matt Kint, and it's kind of a
Oh, Matt Kent. Yeah, he did
yeah.
a lot of
I'm like,
independent stuff. Image and
yeah, I'll pick that up for a buck. I mean, what the heck? And I read it, and it was actually pretty good. I'm gonna look for like issue two, three, four, or whatever miniseries it was. You know,
yeah.
here's this. I bought this because I like the cover.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
Catwoman covers.
I think that's an Alex Ross too.
Faces
Faces of
of
Evil
Evil.
and
That's
ever.
cool
So
cover. I love
it
the
is.
eyes, the way
It
they kind
is.
of glow.
That's kind of why I got it. And then this one, some of you from back in the day might remember back when
Stalker.
Conan first came out, DC tried to match. They
Yep.
didn't pretty unsuccessfully, but they tried with Stalker. And it was kind of, it's kind of a nostalgic kind of
Yeah.
issue. And the
What issue
last
is
one
it?
I got
What
is,
issue number was that? What issue
that's
number?
number two. I got
I
number
was gonna
one
say it's
too.
not number one because I know that covers. Okay.
Yeah, it only lasted like about 7 or 8 issues, I
Seven.
think.
Yeah.
It didn't last very long, but this one you get a kick out of. This is fairly recent.
Damage. Yeah.
it was called Damage, and this was a Jim Lee kind of inspiration. They tried to do this, DC Universe back in the day, and I think what they were
Right.
trying to do there is they were trying to make themselves their version of the Hulk. Because that's the
Oh
one
yeah.
thing they got Solomon Grundy in the Hulk, but you really don't have a real Hulk character in the DC universe that's comparable. So
Yeah,
that's
they
kind of what I've been digging for. No, I don't know, last couple
yeah.
months, I guess. There's more,
So
but
I guess
let's see what you got, buddy.
flip over. This is my end of the year. It's kind of a weird stack. This is my little. Let's see if I can get my camera over here.
There we
So
go. Buck
I'm
Rogers.
gonna call these the beat up, but I can't help. I got a bag and board it.
Exactly.
Like
I call
it's
them
just
rescues.
it is. This is a rescue. This is in a collection I got. This Buck Rogers. I mean, I grew up. I was young when Buck Rogers was on TV. You
Right.
were a little older. You're probably a teenager. Did you still watch it, the Buck
I
Rogers
remember a
series?
few episodes. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't
Oh,
super into it, but I remember
yeah. You
watching a
can
few
remember that I was
episodes.
like 6 at the time. So you know what I mean. Buck Rogers.
Right.
This was like um,
Yeah, I was
and
probably 12 or 13.
the next two, like I said, they're beat up, but I mean. This is Kubert art at its
It
best,
is.
man. I mean, it's really cool for
Yeah.
I think this is what late 70s, early 80s, but 40 cent book, but really cool artwork. And this one, I mean, I
Oh,
know the
yeah.
cover's missing, but the Nazi, the skull, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, that's epic.
Yeah, that's a good rescue.
Yeah. So then the next little piles. Those are my three like probably favorite of the year that are banged up. But then I gotta throw the one in that you got me because I
Oh,
just
yeah.
love the cover of this.
Yeah. Border Worlds.
And the rest of the stack, I'm not gonna go through the whole stack. But yeah, I read it. It's pretty good actually. I'm
It
interested to get
is.
the rest of the series.
It's interesting
And
how it's written kind of like with illustrations, but it's not like comic panels. It's like
correct.
full page.
And I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet to how many issues there are or anything. But so the next one that's kind of in, and you just
Dynamo.
had a first comic, so this is the whole stack of this Dynamo Joe, which was an
Wow.
80s. It was an 80s, and really, to me, it's a Shogun Warriors knockoff, but it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And in this last collection, I got like this is an entire just I haven't even bagged and boarded these, but an entire
Wow.
stack of them. And the artwork's it's weird because you get this one, it's kind of I don't want to say cheesy, but but then you
Hmm.
get the next one, and it's like boom in your face. So it's like cool,
Yeah.
but you can tell that they were,
Switching artists and stuff.
yeah, yeah. But those are my fun little what do you call it? Weird things that I collect, like you
Oh,
saving them
yeah.
out of the dollar bin. Can't help it.
Rescues.
Just sometimes it's just about the artwork. Like this one will
It
probably
really
hang up.
is.
Just too fun.
Yeah. That's sweet. I like all those. Well,
Too.
we're here about the end of 2024. What a year, huh?
Oh man, I know.
It was
I
on
know.
TV today. It was like showing all these things that happened during the year. And I was like, oh my Lord. Uh, Me personally. But
Right.
uh, yeah, I had some health issues this year, but so far so good.
Yeah, you're
Um,
recovered, man. You're recovered
yeah, pretty
really
much.
well.
I'd say I'm 90%. I mean, I had a stroke and it
Yeah, that
was
was
touch and go for a few days, but
yeah, what was that? March? Was that March?
no, February
February.
22nd, baby, a day that will
Okay.
live in infamy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, on to better things. I'm gonna
Yeah.
show my what I kind of sat down. I like, okay, what books did I really like in 2024? My top 10, you know.
Yeah.
And I kind of had some criteria. I kind of said, well, it's got to be somewhat of a running series. It can't be like a one shot, you know.
Okay, so the Doom cover's not in there.
No, do no Doom cover. I do have
Because I
one
know
shot
I
though.
know
I
you
picked
have
my
that book, and that's a
hey,
big book, right?
just a little suspense here. My number one pick though for the whole year, not including this list, is a one shot.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you
Okay.
that when I get done with this. But
Yeah.
first one, let me switch cameras here. First one I got to is uh, Jeff Johns' series here, and it's called Hyde
Ooh.
Street, and that's
Yeah.
number 10. It's kind of
Okay.
I kind of described it as a Twilight Zone comic book. It's like this Hyde Street is almost like the Twilight Zone, and it's
Yeah.
only
That,
got like 2 issues out. I think that's the second issue right there. And there's a character in there. Uh, I don't
It
want to give
kind
too
of
much away, but a little kid, little
it
kids.
reminds me of like a Norman Rockwell, only on like fire, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. Norman Rockwell on steroids, but
Yeah,
it's got some
yeah,
good
right.
art, and
Gone bad.
I'm digging it. Right now I'm really digging it.
Yeah.
Next one is Ultimate Spidey,
Yep.
which I haven't read this
That-
issue yet, but that's the one that I said they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna introduce this Venom type symbiote
yeah, I
character
feel
into
like
the Ultimate.
this has been the series of the year for Marvel for me.
It has,
It
yeah,
really has. It has.
yeah. That's
It's
why
been
it's
a
down there at number 9 because Marvel
yeah,
has not been big for me.
no, it's been a tough year, and this has been a great read. Marvel needed this.
Hmm.
They jumped on the bandwagon of the Black Panther, all these different ones, and then they kind of spooked it out by putting the ultimate Wolverine in the why they didn't put it in the Spider-Man book. They ended up putting it in the one shot or whatever. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, I think Marvel was
whatever.
looking at, Marvel's all about cash grab nowadays.
Yeah, it
But I
is. Yeah,
think they made a mistake of putting Hickman on it, and I think he really came up with something, and as opposed to
it's
just another Marvel Spider-Man title.
yeah, no, it's a good if for everybody out there, if you haven't read it, it is worth the read.
Yeah,
It's yeah,
definitely. It's been a good
finally
story so far. So that's
it
number
has.
9. Number 8, I got another Marvel book. I'm a big Thor guy. He's
Oh
probably
yeah,
my
you put a
favorite
Mortal
Marvel
Thor over
character.
it, yeah.
And he's got comics. I guess we're on an Alex Ross kick here or not or something. But Alex Ross is doing a lot of the covers for that. And this Al Ewing's the writer, and he's going to be off it pretty soon. He's taking over a DC book. I'm trying to remember
Okay.
which one he's taking over.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't read any of this, but I did talk to like the last show that I sold at, like three or four guys. All we were talking about, what we're reading, and a lot of them were saying Immortal Thor, and I kind of referred to you because I knew you were digging it.
it's been really good. I mean, he's really digging on the Norse mythology, and I tell you what, it's hard because he's following up. Well, first off, he's following up the original Thor with Stan
Yeah,
Lee, and
right,
then he's got the Jason Aaron run, and you get
right.
the Walt Simonson run. It's kind of like Batman. You got these great runs by these artists like Frank Miller and stuff. That I don't know, but I dug it this year. It's on 18. I bet it's only going 20 issues, and then of course Marvel will do another reboot with.
Yeah, they'll reboot and put number one.
Uh,
Spider-Man's gonna start again with the same writer. How do you like that?
oh,
That'd be fun.
for the zillionth time. That's why, except for Ultimate
Right.
Spider-Man, I don't read Spider-Man. But this is number,
Oh,
what are we at here? Number
you're
6.
such a Constantine fan. I know.
Yeah, I like Constantine too. He ranks me up there with Thor. I like those kind of myth kind of characters.
Yeah.
I'm into that kind of stuff. But that's been a good run. This writer, this Simon Spurrier guy, Cy Spurrier, whatever his name is, I mean, he's other than Garth Ennis and the original Jaime Delano guy who wrote the original Hellblazers, and of course Alan Moore who created the character. He's really got a good feel for the character, and um, he just did a great job on this series. And it's funny because you can tell in that series they're trying to, he's a British guy, so he's being a little
Okay.
bit, dead in America, a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a rip on America, but kind of like pointing out the
Sure.
flaws and stuff. But he has to be walk a fine line because he doesn't want to offend anybody.
The
Oh,
cover art's really
on to number
cool.
5. This one
Oh,
I think you should read when you get
Helen of
around to it or
Wind.
get the trade or something. Helen of Windhorn. This one flew under the radar. It was kind of like, I mean, it doesn't have the uh, Spider-Man type of thing like Ultimate Spider-Man did, but it kind of like
Right.
just appeared, and it was
Okay.
like, okay, Tom King writes this, and again, Tom King's a divisive writer. Some people hate him, and a lot of people like me, I really like him. I think he's really good. But it's basically a story about a girl who her dad was like a writer of like Conan type comics,
Okay.
and she finds out that there's like a reality that he went into that existed of like fantasy and stuff, and she goes into it and becomes this like kick-ass warrior and everything, and she was
Well,
just like
kind of
kind of
sounds
a
a little Stephen King-esque kind of
exactly, yeah,
the
exactly. So
last fairy tales was kind of a similar story. Interesting.
all right, next one is Poison Ivy, which again I've said this to a zillion people, including you. If you would have told me 2 years ago that Poison Ivy was one of my favorite characters, I would have said get lost, go jump in a lake. But I don't know why I picked it up because I like that writer G. Willow Wilson, that woman writer, and
Yep.
she really has got the character nailed. I mean, it's because I like characters that are like morally ambiguous. I don't, good
Yeah.
and bad is kind of like Okay, it's
Right.
fine when you're 12 years old, but when you're an adult, you
You
realize
look
that there's shades of gray. And so she kind of
right.
walks the line between being an eco-terrorist and being a criminal, or being a criminal and being somebody who's, for the economy. Okay, Red Coat.
I've
I
heard a
almost
lot of
picked this as my best one.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about Red
Another
Coat.
Jeff Johns.
Yep.
Basically, he's an immortal. He got his immortal powers when around the
Yep.
revolution. And it's funny as heck. He's got this Albert Einstein. And really, the episode is the issue before this one, I think, where it's kind of tear jerking.
Oh,
Albert Einstein really was quite emotional.
yeah.
Okay, my top three.
Here we go.
Top three here,
One better
books.
be in there.
I got to go with Conan.
You got
And not just because I'm loyal to the character. I've
you're
just a
loyal.
lot
You're
of, like, for example, I will not collect the after issue like 100 of the Conan
yeah.
series with Roy Thomas because it's just like
Right.
rehashing the same stuff. This Jim Zub guy, I mean, he knows what he's doing, and he's really refurbished. I was talking about how emotional that Redcoat was. Well, there was an issue again before this one that was very emotional. It was basically an adaptation of the Frost Giant's daughter.
Yeah.
The one, and it kind of got into religion and stuff, and belief in life after death, and all that kind of stuff. So that's been, my number three. Number two kind of snuck up on me. Absolute Wonder Woman.
Oh, I say I haven't joined in the absolute. I got the cover of the Batman, but I didn't go into the Wonder
Again,
Woman.
like kind of like Poison Ivy. If you told me that, Absolute Wonder Woman comic was gonna be my second favorite comic of the year, I would have like, you know,
Are they on issue like 2 right now of
yeah.
this?
Well,
Okay.
I think three's come out.
Sure.
That's I think the B cover or whatever. I like that cover, so I got it. But I tell you
Yeah.
what, the Absolute Superman, the Absolute Batman have been, been okay. I
You
mean,
think this
tough
is
to
the best by
buy.
far of
Oh,
all
by
of them?
far for me, because they really, I think part of it is they have more freedom to do stuff with Wonder Woman because she's
Okay.
not quite as iconic
Yeah.
far as her origin goes and everything. So, and you're gonna like this one, Matt.
Number one.
Number
Come on,
one,
baby. Space Ghost.
and your favorite, one of your favorite cover artists, that Bjorn
Oh
Barons or
man.
whatever.
This run has been amazing. This is like yeah.
It really has because I was
Yep.
like, I mean, again, I'm like, if
My
you
this
told
is
me two
that's
years
actually my
ago,
favorite cover so far
yeah,
of the whole series.
that's a great one. I
Yep.
mean, if you would have told me again 2 or 3 years ago, I'd be reading Space Ghost, I would have
Oh
laughed
yeah,
in
I
your
never would have.
face.
Yep.
I mean, but
Yep.
it's filled in a lot of the questions that you had about the show. I remember watching the show when I was a kid, and it
Yep.
was
Me
like,
too.
okay, what's Space Ghost? Who's bad guys you're going to defeat this week? And
Yep.
blah blah blah. And Jen and Jace are going to have a little humor with the monkey blip or whatever. But this
Yep.
one is like really gotten into like
Oh,
how come they're, how did Space Ghost get them and where'd they come
yep.
from? And there's a little bit of tragedy in there and everything. And then
Yeah, there's
Slayers,
tragedy. It's kind of sad. It's just a lot of grit. I don't know. And the covers have been. I gotta be honest. I love Barron's. That's all I'm pulling right now are Barron's covers. That's all I'm getting. But
yeah,
all the other covers are great
right too.
too.
Yeah, that
And you and I were
Matina,
talking
whatever his name
about
is.
what's his face? The other series because they're running a bunch of different series as well. And this has been the best cover art for all of them.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good ones. I don't know. I would say it's right up there. Um,
And they're redoing Herculoids next.
yes, I'm going to pick that up because of this. Because I
And
figure
Barron's is doing some of the covers, and
if they,
so is
they can
Mark
do a good job with
Spears.
Space Ghost, I mean, we'll see. But
Well, and
Herculoids
they're
is
doing
another one of
another
those
Space Ghost,
comics.
yeah, the offshoot of that too with Johnny Quest.
Yeah, I tried the Johnny Quest. I didn't get into that one.
No, they're doing another one that's like Space Friends or Space something with Johnny Quest and Space Ghost.
Oh
Yeah,
well,
it's new. It's coming out in like March or
yeah.
April. I just saw the preview for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a cash grab. We'll see. But
Yeah,
as
I
far
figured
as
you.
quality goes and writing goes, this has been so that's my top
Yeah.
10. And I might as well finish off while I'm on that topic of my best book of the year. And you're going to laugh, and you should laugh because this was
Yeah.
hilarious. This is a one shot, and it's basically a send up, but it works. It's like it's in the Marvel universe, it's in the whole story, fits
Hokey.
in the storyline of
Feels like
Thor.
a 90s cover.
Yeah, but it's making kind
Good
of
read.
poking fun at corporations and
Yeah.
the idea of taking these characters and turning them into like these action figures and all that kind of
Sure.
stuff. I mean, it's I tell you what, I'll probably send this one to you just so you read it because it is a riot. The
So
Roxxon
you didn't
company.
even so Frankenstein didn't even make the top 10? I figured Frankenstein would be there. Was it a close?
No, I like
Was it
Dracula
11
too.
or 12? What?
Yeah, it would be definitely in the top 20.
I haven't
You know?
finished it. I just got the last two issues. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, probably tomorrow if I made a new top 10 list, it'd probably be different. You know, it
yeah.
was just the day, but that's a good point. So, um, there we
Okay.
go.
All right. So set that stack over there. All right.
I'll come back to the
So
land
my
here.
top 10 are going to be my top 10 finds. And I did, um, as we are talking about, I'm going to flash a picture on here in a minute. I did pick up a big collection, and
Oh
I know
yeah,
I
you
told
did.
you about it, obviously, but I picked up a big one not that long ago, and
Yeah, it was awesome.
yeah, I don't know, awesome is the word, but huge is
Yeah,
the word. So
it
it
was
was a
awesome.
huge. I'm gonna see if we can. So here's a picture of the back of my Land Rover. The guy was super nice. He said it was, let's see if we can get that to zone it.
There
He
you
said
go.
it was 10 long boxes.
Wow,
It was closer to 15. It is just a huge collection. It had a lot of fun stuff in it. But anyways, here
that's
are my
cool.
top, these are my top finds of the year. I've
Your
thrown
top
in a lot
digs,
more
baby.
other ones, but this was in that collection. It's just a clean, just beautiful copy of
Wow.
Godzilla. And I won't sell this. This
Yeah.
stays in my collection.
Just curious, what's a copy in that condition go for
The
roughly?
I keep seeing in all the shows beat up copies are like $75.
Wow.
So it's got to be $100 book pretty easy out the
Oh,
door.
I bet. I bet it's
So here we
150.
go. Pick this up at a show. I had a 50-cent bin of comics. It was at the bottom of the stack, pretty nice shape. This is like the last issue in this like split superhero,
Right.
but pretty good book. But Hercules on one side, Space Ghost on another. But 50 cents, I couldn't put it down. It's probably a $20, $30 book.
That's sweet.
But wish I had more of those. But
Was that in that collection?
no, that was from when I went to South Bend. I
Oh, okay.
it was in a 50-cent bin I pulled. Now this was from that estate sale.
Wow.
Really cool, Fantastic Four book.
Wow, that's pretty.
23. It's in, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. Nice shape. Nice shape
Yeah, it
book.
looks like about a five to me,
It's
at least
all
at
intact.
first
It needs
glance.
to be, it does need to be pressed. I have not pressed it yet, but
Okay.
pretty nice
Sweet.
shape. And number 9.
Wow.
Unfortunately, she's missing a little bit right there, but
Yeah, well.
presents pretty well for number 9.
Truthfully, that's the way a book of that age should look. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
not a
yeah, no, I
purist,
agree.
you know.
I agree. All right, next book.
Oh, the
First
yellow
appearance,
cover.
first cover appearance, Gwen Stacy.
Wow.
And this was in this collection that I just got. There was like 61 through 68, but pretty fun book.
Yeah.
This one I picked up in a trade deal.
Oh yeah.
That's
What
just a
tangled web
stick.
we weave.
That's just a sticker, but this is an X-Men 35 first Spider-Man X-Men
Wow.
crossover. Pretty
Wow,
fun
that's
book, pretty nice
beautiful.
shape. Yeah. And this is one you kind of keyed me on too, is in this collection that I just
Creature
picked up.
Commandos.
Creature Commandos first appearance.
Yeah. I tell you what, that show's been great.
Pretty solid copy of it too.
It is.
Okay, so this one I was really excited about, and I don't think I can sell, but this is Weird War Tales #1.
Oh
Look this book
wow.
up. It's a
Number
in
one.
good
Look at the
shape. This is a
black.
pricey book. What's that?
Look at the blacks on that.
Oh, the whole coloration. It's got one little color break on the corner and
Uh
on the two little corners, but the spine is beautiful,
wow. For a
clean, it's
black cover
white.
like that.
I mean, we're talking this is probably a gradable copy.
Yeah.
So as you can see underneath, this was in the collection. This is a funny book because I bought one of these at the show with you and and then I turned it around and sold it to Thomas's buddy for the same price, and then it turned out and this popped back into this collection. So
Wow.
not in the greatest of shape. It's actually pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's intact, maybe
Right. But
pre. Still,
hey, to find
you
that in
know
a
the book.
collection is unreal. Because most
Yeah,
time the collections get picked over.
but and then the last but not least, my favorite of the collection, and I won't sell it. It's worth the most, but
Oh wow.
Amazing Spider-Man #5.
Wow. That was that
First
one that
Doctor
was
Doom with Spider-Man. Needs to be cleaned. It's got a lot of lot of dirt on it. I touched it up just a little bit, so clean and pressed. But it's lower grade, but pretty
Well,
intact
who
for a number
cares?
five.
Low grade's better than no grade.
Oh yeah, yep. So that's my those are my best finds
Those are
of the
good
year, my
ones.
favorite finds. There's a couple others that a couple. I did pick up a Planet of Battle of the Planets #1. I was gonna show, and I think I buried it somewhere in my collection.
Nice. Well, yeah, Santa was
Yeah.
good to you.
Yeah, been a lot of big collections. It's been a lot of cleaning up. I tell you what, man,
Oh
that's all
yeah.
I've done is rebag and board, rebag and board. Everything was doubled up too. You know what I mean?
Right.
You had that at your comic shop, right? Where
Yeah,
they
we're going. In fact, I was going to tell you,
one.
the owner of a shop that I help out at, Steve, he's going down. In fact, I'm working tomorrow and Tuesday for him because he's going down to his buddy in Florida and he's bringing back.
Oh,
And what I looked at, I mean, he's got some decent Silver Age.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm
So
excited because I get first dibs.
yeah, so yeah, like so many black, nice looking Indiana Jones,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah.
every one of them. And
Yeah.
for me, I mean, I don't really like to buy comics that way unless I'm buying them for like 50 cents.
Right.
And guys are gonna want the one and not gonna want the other. So you gotta separate them out. So I'm
Yes,
trying
you
to
do.
reuse any bags that are still good. It's been a big process.
Oh,
Been a big
yeah.
process.
Yeah.
And
What was in that collection? You said about 15 long boxes. So what are we looking at? 3,500?
yeah, I did a rough count. I hit about 3,700, and then I
Wow.
that kind of dropped it. Plus there was that, and then there was a huge box of like Mad magazines, and probably sell for $1 each.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot. There was a lot of readers. There's probably too long worth of like quarter and 50 cent at least. You know what I mean? I wouldn't sell for any more than that. But it's
sure.
okay.
Yeah.
It's fun to
Heck
go
yeah.
through.
Heck yeah.
Every day I kind of find weird stuff too in it.
The
It's
fun
just,
stuff.
just yeah, you're like, this is nothing. And like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is worth something. So,
Yeah.
um,
All right.
I
Well,
want
we got a couple minutes here and
you
then
got a
we'll
couple
wrap things
minutes. Let me
up.
show the video. I want to show the
Oh, yeah.
video of when we
Yeah.
were
We went
at
to Grand
Comic
Rapids
Con
Comic
together.
Con.
I'm gonna get that fronted up. Let me just get us. Let me see if I can get it to. Hang on a minute. If I can get it to go. If I can get it to load right without. Heh. Okay. Yeah. Switch the audio over here.
By the way, while you're doing that, if it looks kind of
Yeah.
messy behind me, is because we had a tree fall.
Ooh.
Actually, it's been about a month and a half now because getting contractors to do the work is not easy down here in South Carolina with all that storm. Okay, here we go.
Ready?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let me see if I can get it to be loud too.
that was cool. They had the orchestra playing like Star Wars music. There I am. Oh, yeah. And there's Dennis. Hey, the man of the hour. Yeah, I don't think we can hear that, the music,
You hear
but
it?
it was there. No, I'm not picking that up.
Oh, you're not picking it up?
That's okay though, because
Yeah.
I mean, you can see they had the orchestra up there playing before they let everybody in.
Yeah, I really feel like we got to get our buddy Dennis on the show with us.
We do.
We got a side host.
Yeah.
We met Dennis through comics. I mean, I met him at shows, and
Yeah, you
he's
met him.
become a dear friend. We have gone digging. Lang's had a sale, which is about, I don't know, 45 minutes from here, and he and I were there on over Thanksgiving or whatever at Black Friday. We were there at 6 a.m. He was at my house at 5 and we went out. So,
Yeah.
Dennis, just a sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy because I
Give
like
my
him too. He
shout out
doesn't
to you, Dennis. So
yeah, I
Happy
bet.
New
He
Year,
doesn't take
buddy.
things too seriously either. I still wish I would have bought
No,
that
no, and
Fantastic
he
Four
has a
48 from him.
wealth of knowledge of comics. Believe me, I mean, he
Hmm.
knows more about them than I do for sure.
Probably
So
me too.
a lot of fun to go and dig with, and it was a lot of fun to go to Comic Con together. Couple old
Okay.
fogies, but
Well, I got my little message that we're running out of time here,
all
so
right,
we got
man.
to wrap things up.
Well, hey,
Uh,
Happy New Year, folks.
you too.
Um,
Yeah, you too. Happy
Happy
New Year,
digging
Merry
in the new
Christmas,
year. So
everybody. And hopefully
all right.
we'll have another show a little sooner this time.
But
We
we'll
had
try to do another show sooner and try to be a little more planned. We're
yeah,
like the
it was that
Flintstones.
time of the year, but January and
We're like
February are the
Fred and
most.
Barney doing these shows sometimes.
All right. All right, sounds good. We'll see
All right.
y'all later and have a good 2025. Bye bye.